Hi, it's Justin Popovich back on Orangeville blog again, and I have another interview for you today with another Orangeville business person, Bazin from iPro Realty, another real estate agent. Thanks for joining me today, Barb.
Oh, you're welcome, Jason.
And so I guess, like we've been doing with all these interviews, it's really asking you a little bit about what you do in your business, and then learn a little bit about you and some of your interests. So if people meet you around town, they can say they saw you here on the blog and have something to talk about. So let's start with your business. You've been an agent here in town for how long is it now?
3 years.
For 3 years. And so just talk about your experience as a business person, because I know that being an independent business person is not something that you've only been doing for 3 years. It's been for quite a number of years. So maybe walk us through a little bit of your history and how you got into real estate.
Real estate. I had my own business. I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Worked for myself, and I had a house cleaning business in Brampton and Mississauga. And we cleaned houses, offices, did fire cleans, you name it, we did it. And the business wore me down.
I bet. That's hard business.
I knew eventually that I one day wanted to sell houses, forget the cleaning. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So the day came and I got my license.
Good for you. And so that was so roughly 3 years ago that happened?
3 years ago.
Yeah. And so what have you liked the most about it? I mean, obviously anytime you start something new, it's exciting.
It's totally exciting. But it's a learning process too.
Yeah.
And nothing can prepare you for this business because it's a totally different business than any business I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the first couple of years was really learning curves, figuring it out, where I was going, what I was going to do, where I wanted to be, how much money I wanted to make. You have to plan everything.
Yeah.
So,
what's your favorite part about being an agent? Is it the people, the excitement, the freedom?
The thrill of the deal.
Yeah.
The close.
Never gets old.
It never gets old. Getting to that close is a challenge every time because it's never the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Every single buyer is different, seller is different. And I know just from buying a couple homes in my experience, it's really hard to find, as the buyer, to find something that you can see yourself being in.
Yep.
And does it get frustrating when if a client doesn't immediately shuts down and they don't even want to take a look at the house and you think it might be a good fit for them, or you try to keep an open mind?
Fortunately, haven't had any clients that have shut down on me yet.
Okay, so
I just haven't.
Been pretty good experience.
I haven't had any bad experiences yet.
One of the things when I interviewed Carrie, also from your office, she was saying that the difference between last summer and this summer has been night and day. Like last year the market was so tough and still recession mode, and this year it seems to be coming out and a lot more action, a lot more excitement. Same thing for you?
Totally.
Yeah.
The winter right into the summer was very slow, very non-productive for myself, and then all of a sudden September hit and boom, I was off to the races. And since September, time has flown.
Yeah, it's just been that busy.
Been that busy.
Cool. That's awesome. Hopefully it's a sign of more things like that to come.
Oh, yes.
So that's great. Tell us more about you at a personal level. What are some of your hobbies or some of the things that you enjoy doing when you're not working really hard on real estate?
Yeah. I am a huge animal person.
Yeah, animal lover.
Animal lover to the 9th degree.
Yeah.
And I have 5 horses, 4 dogs.
Wow.
Yeah.
9 animals total?
9.
No birds or hamsters or anything?
No, I feed the birds outside.
So they hang out with the horses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So 9 animals.
Yeah.
How long have you had horses?
Ooh. I've had horses since, I've had horses since about the late 80s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Date myself.
Yeah. So it was just something you always wanted, and then one day you got into it?
My grandparents had animals,
yeah.
So I was at the farm all the time when I was a kid. Then my dad got into the horses, and he had standardbred race horses.
Okay.
So we would go to the track all the time, spend a lot of time at Orangeville Raceway.
Yeah, before it became Walmart.
Before it became Walmart, for sure.
Yeah.
And so he had horses, and then I was the only one of my brothers and sisters that got the bug.
Yeah. So what are the names?
We have Blaze and Fred and Nino.
Is Blaze male or female?
Blaze is a girl.
Okay.
And then we have the two young ones are Quincy and Cash.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so you have obviously a mixed age range. How old are the old ones?
I have two 30-year-olds, which is, they're getting up there.
Yeah, I
So
bet.
they're well
Is that
retired.
is that old for a horse? How old? What's
That
the life
actually
expectancy for a
is
horse?
getting pretty old for
Yeah.
a horse. A lot of horses, especially horses that have worked, and
Okay.
and these two boys have worked. They've been jousters down at medieval times, and they were in
Nice.
Toronto since it opened
Yeah.
until about 5-6 years ago. So they had a good work life and time to hit the grass.
So do they? That's interesting. Medieval time. I've seen the commercials, but I've never been. When those horses come to you from medieval times, is it obviously they were well taken care of? Are they kind of down? Are they beat up? Are they tired? Like what's the?
They were kind of beat up and
Yeah.
tired.
They really put through their
Well,
paces.
They don't have any pasture down there, so there's no grass at all.
Oh.
Yeah, so
So they're
they
just in the
have a
barn all the
hay
time.
diet.
Oh.
They are well looked after. They're groomed and plucked over. They're exercised every day, but they live in a very small.
Yeah, it's not a natural environment for a
No,
horse.
it's not a natural environment for a
Yeah.
horse, and it came with some issues. I remember when we first brought Fred home, we pulled him right out of the show. He didn't lift his head from the grass for 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
No.
So, wow, how do you deal with that? You just kind
And
of wait
he
and
did
see?
not want people contact. It took a year
Oh, really?
for him to come around, yeah.
But once he did, he was.
And now
Fine.
he's a friendly little boy.
Yeah. So he just needed that time to.
He needed to be a horse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you must have quite a bit of land then to
30 acres.
30 acres.
Yeah.
And they go where they need to go, kind of.
They have a great life. They have
Good for
apple
them. That's
trees.
awesome.
The apples are just starting to drop.
Yeah.
So,
That's
yeah.
great. I did a little bit of horse riding when I was a kid, but that's awesome. That's such a cool thing. And that's what I like about this area is you can do things like that.
5 minutes at a
Yeah,
time.
if you're in a big city, you really need to plan for that. But living in Orangeville, you could go look for a place and have your own horse farm.
Absolutely.
Do what you want. Great. What about in town? If you need to meet with a client or take a new prospective client out to lunch, where do you like to eat?
They have a great sushi place in town, and the Thai restaurant is very good. They have a lot of really good restaurants. It's hard to pick one.
Okay, so you just go where you feel like that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I've tried to go to all the restaurants if I can, but you're probably talking about the same one that Carrie mentioned in her interview, which is Rebecca.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have yet to eat there, so
Go on.
Everybody's been saying you got to go, so I'm gonna go now.
Try the soft shell crab.
Oh, okay. I think she might have said the same thing actually. What about what's your coffee spot? Are you a Tim's person?
Oh
or?
no, I'm not a coffee person.
You're not a coffee person.
I'm a rarity in Canada. I realize
Wow.
that.
And especially an agent, that you probably work a ton of hours, and you
I have
probably
never-
could justify the caffeine kick if you wanted
Never
to.
had a coffee in my life.
Never had a coffee in your life. What do you drink? Water?
Yep, drink a lot of water, but I have my tea in the morning,
Okay.
and that's it.
So you get like a little bit of caffeine from
No,
that.
I drink decaffeinated.
Really? Oh my god! If you had a cup of coffee, you'd be going
I don't
nuts.
seem to need the caffeine.
Yeah, you probably would react pretty. It'd be an interesting reaction, to say the least. Wow. So our first non-coffee one, anyway, first one I've met in a while. That's
Yeah.
great. Good for you. Well, that's great. I just wanted to bring you on, and we learned quite a bit about you in 8 or 9 minutes here. So that's been great. Thanks for sharing with us.
No problem.
If we're gonna have a link for everybody that we interview, we're gonna have a link to a website or a page within your company's directory. Where, if people want to see what you've got going on in real estate, where can they go?
They can reach me on email at bbazin@iprorealty.com, and I have a website. It's almost ready to launch. I'm going to do it this fall, and it's called The Countryside of Life. So www.countrysideoflife,
Okay.
and
Perfect. So
There I am.
you know how to find her, and like I said, we'll have links. So with all these interviews, just want to get your feedback. So let us know what you thought, and if you want to reach out and get to know Barb, well, now you know how to do it. So thanks again for watching Orangeville Blog. See you soon.